Hello everyone and welcome back to Lick Library. My name is Lee Fuge, and in this video today we're going to be finding out why beginner guitar players should use backing tracks. So backing tracks are great for helping you in so many different ways as you develop your rhythm and timing and phrasing as a lead guitar player. So in this video I'm going to be talking about why backing tracks are going to be important to you in your development. The backing track I'm using is a blues backing track in the key of E minor. This is available from inside your Lick Library account. If you're already a Lick Library user, you'll have access to the library of backing tracks. If you want access to the backing tracks, you can scroll down and hit the link in the description to sign up for the Lick Library website, where you can access this backing track that I talk about in this video and all the other ones available. So what we're going to do in this video is we're going to talk about a few key areas like improving timing, phrasing, and how to practice scales in a really contextual manner. All of the things I talk about are timestamped down below in the description, so if you want to fast forward to any particular section, you can go down there and hit the timestamp. At the start of this video, you heard me just jamming over a backing track. Now we're going to be going through each specific section, talking about techniques and how you can use backing tracks to practice yourself. So the first thing I want to talk to you about is timing. So timing is really important as a lead guitar player. Here is a really cool exercise you can use which involves playing some licks over a backing track, but always focusing on starting on the one beat. So I'm going to be using the E minor pentatonic scale for this at the 12th position. Every lick I play is going to start on the one beat. So I'm not going to be playing anything too crazy, but I'm always going to be starting on the one. So it's going to be 1, 2, 3, 4, and there's my note. So whether that's a slide into a note or just a pick note, always going to be hitting the one beat. This is something you can try yourself. Pick your favorite backing track, preferably at a slower tempo if you're a new player, and then just take notes from your scale and try and land them on the one beat. You don't even have to do full licks. You could literally just play single notes. You could do something like this. If you imagine there's a beat going underneath that, each one of those notes I hit landed on the one. Here's how that sounds with the backing track. The second thing I'm going to talk about is phrasing. Now, phrasing is one of the most important things you'll ever learn as a lead guitar player. Phrasing is not what notes you play, but how you play them, and we can use backing tracks to great effect to develop our phrasing. So what I'm going to do now, and this is an exercise you can take away yourself, is I'm going to take these four notes from the E minor pentatonic scale. So there I'm just playing the 12 and 14 on the D string, and the 12 and 14 on the G. Now with these four notes, I'm going to play over my backing track. You can do this for as long as you want. You can use these same four notes, or you can choose any four notes from the scale. The whole point of this is to limit yourself to the amount of notes you have available. With those notes, we're going to play them as many different ways as possible. This is the working on the phrasing aspect. So by limiting the notes we have available, this means that we have to focus really on how we play the notes we do have available to us. So with these four notes, I can still do all my techniques. So my hammer-ons, pull-offs, my slides, vibrato and string bends. I can use all the techniques available to me, but I can't stray from these four notes. Those are the only 4 fret positions I'm allowed to pick. So over a backing track, this is great for your creative brain because we really don't have much to work with there, so we have to be creative with what we've got. What I would suggest is starting out with 4 notes like this, then maybe go up to 6 notes, or try it in a different position of the scale. So perhaps in this position, the 12 and 15 on the B and E strings. And then when you get comfortable with that, try it in the second pentatonic position or the third pentatonic position. We're really just working on the phrasing here and how we play something. It sounds like this. third thing I want to talk about is practicing scales in context. Now, if you've been practicing scales, you're probably playing them like this. Maybe you're doing that with a metronome as well. It can be quite boring and quite tedious, but it's great for getting the fingers going. Now that we've started to talk about timing and phrasing, we can start to think about how we can use scales to a bigger effect inside of a guitar solo. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to play over a backing track. I'm just going to practice my scale, but I'm going to practice my scale in a melodic and rhythmic way, as if I'm kind of imagining it's a guitar solo, but I'm just going to be running up and down the scale in different patterns. Now you can do straight up and straight down, you can do different kind of groupings inside. This is really open to interpretation on however you want to practice this. You can use your favorite scale groupings and your favorite picking exercises, but really this is just a fun way to melodically and contextually practice scales that doesn't just sound like you're running up and down a scale all the time. Putting it to a backing track and almost adding a bit of melody to it makes it a much more fun practice exercise. And the fourth and final thing I want to talk about is a little bit more of an advanced concept. This is changing the scale over the chord changes. So I'm playing this over a 12-bar blues progression in the key of E minor. So here we're using 3 different chords. We're using an E, A, and a B. Now I played those as power chords, but obviously if we're in a minor key, they would be minor chords or perhaps dominant 7 chords in a blues situation. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use a different pentatonic scale for each of the 3 chords. I'm going to keep this really simple. So I'm going to use over the E chord, which is known as the 1 chord in the progression. I'm going to play the E minor pentatonic. Over the A chord, which is known as the 4 chord, I'm going to play the A minor pentatonic. And over the B chord, which is known as the 5 chord, I'm going to play the B minor pentatonic. So what you're going to see is me changing scale position. So anytime there's an E in the progression, I'm going to be playing here. All my licks and phrases will be in that scale box. When it goes to an A, the 4 chord, I'm going to be here. And over the B, which is the 5 chord, I'm going to be here. Now this 12-bar blues progression takes on the typical form. So we've got 4 bars of the 1 chord, 2 bars of the 4 chord, 2 bars of the 1 chord, 1 bar of the 5 chord, 1 bar of the 4 chord, 2 bars of the 1 chord. Now, blues is the best place to start with this, and obviously we can go deeper into different scale types and different instances of each pentatonic scale, but I'm just going to keep to the first shape just to keep this simple to start with. Once you get more advanced to this, you can then change the type of scales you play over each chord to suit your own playing. If you're then doing this in something outside of blues, obviously you're going to have more complex chord progressions to work with, so bear that in mind. you all so much for watching this video on why beginner guitar players should practice with backing tracks. I hope you found this useful, and I hope you've been able to apply some of these practice routines with some backing tracks to develop your own playing. As I mentioned, I'm using one of Lick Library's very own backing tracks. If you want to find out more about licklibrary.com and access the backing tracks, there's a link down below in the description you can hit to take you there. Once you're over there on the Lick Library website, you can sign up for an account and you can access a huge library of backing tracks as well as lessons that will take your guitar playing to that next level. Don't forget to subscribe to the Lick Library YouTube channel for more videos just like this, and also let me know down below in the comments how you got on with using backing tracks in your own practice routine. Thank you so much for watching as always, and I'll see you very soon.